This is Campus News, reporting the top stories from colleges and universities.
Next on Campus News,
watch as students run for a cause and eat sweet treats.
Get an inside look at the difficulties of changing a sport in the middle of your college career.
Brewing beverages, see how MSUM students are taking a booming industry to the classroom.
But first, students, parents, and teachers take to the streets of Fargo to advocate for gun control.
Good morning and welcome to Campus News. I'm Benjamin Reiki.
And I'm Hannah Norton. After the high school mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, college and high school students joined Moms Demand Action across the nation to March for Our Lives. The national movement asks for common sense gun legislation on assault rifles. Mayor Joe Vick talks to students and organizers in Fargo to find out what they hope to accomplish.
What do we want? Gun control! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Gun control!
Really today what we're here to talk about and focus on are the students and why this matters to them.
Over 300 students and others gathered at the Sanctuary Event Center in Fargo.
Can I borrow that red when you're done, Chase?
Oh, yeah.
During the National March for Our Lives event.
Congress needs to act. I mean, it's more important for kids to have a life than it is for someone to have an assault rifle. Hunting is a thing, but you're never going to need a weapon designed to kill people.
Civilians do not need war machines.
19 students a day, kids or teenagers, are either killed or injured by guns. 19 every single day in the United States.
Do we really need to go to a point where we have professional SWAT and professional, highly trained military in our schools to protect our children? Or can we start talking about having some gun laws?
I am a student and this could happen to me, this could happen to my sister, and I would hate to have anything happen to me or her or any of my teachers or peers.
Not just their school alone, but I don't want them to go to the movie theater and to have to worry about that. I don't want them to go to a concert and to be worried. I want to help be that voice of change so that they can live safely.
The biggest problems in America is that we have too many guns in circulation. This should have stopped a long time ago. This should have never even happened. We should have stopped this with Columbine. We should have stopped this with Red Lake.
Every time there's another shooting, I'm sad, and then I'm mad, and then I know that I need to continue to mobilize and engage.
With photographers Katie Mulcrone and Robin Rohde, Mary Jo Vick, Campus News.
More than 800 marches occurred around the world, and local organizers stress this is only the beginning.
Residents of North Dakota got a chance to meet one of our country's leaders when Vice President Mike Pence visited Fargo. I talked with college students who came out to show their support for the VP. A crowd of people eagerly waited outside the Delta Marriott in Fargo, North Dakota for a chance to see Vice President Mike Pence.
Pence has been a man who's really shown what American grit is and what American ideals are.
Vice President Pence spoke about tax cuts.
President Donald Trump signed the largest tax cuts and tax reform in American history.
Oil and energy.
The president promised to unleash American energy, North Dakota's lifeblood.
And North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp.
Heidi Heitkamp hasn't been putting North Dakota first. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I think the people of North Dakota deserve better.
In a speech that resonated with his student supporters.
The tax cuts are going to be something that are going to help us in our careers as we can approach, and especially with moving the economy forward for us finding jobs as we graduate from college and universities.
Students from around North Dakota saw it as a moment they had to capitalize on.
Coming from North Dakota, college students don't generally, interact with politics, and they're not very open to certain ideas, but I've always been raised to, take advantage of opportunities.
While the lines were long,
amazed how many people showed up. They had to cut off the lines.
And security was tight.
It was good.
Start exiting the building, everybody.
Students say the trip
we will make America great again. Thank you.
Was worth it.
God bless you, North Dakota, and God bless the United States of America.
Vice President Pence was the keynote speaker at the event held by America First Policies, a nonprofit organization promoting President Donald Trump's agenda.
When people think of Washington, D.C., they think of our nation's treasured history. One MSUM student went there to fight for other students' rights. MSUM Student Senate President Colleen Kruger visited Washington, D.C. along with other students to talk to senators and representatives from Congress. During the trip, she got to meet Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar and Representative Tim Walz. Kruger says she talked with them about issues important to students. This is Kruger's third trip to Washington, D.C. She says it was one of her favorite experiences as student body president.
Last week, a unique ceremony was held at MSU Moorhead that resulted in a host of new American citizens. Reporter Aaron Simmons has the story.
Local citizens who may have lived in the area for over 20 years are finally getting their chance to obtain American citizenship here on the campus of MSU Moorhead.
I'm so happy, I'm excited. I'm going to cry, but I'm not going to cry.
About 100 people from 24 different countries attended their naturalization ceremony at the satellite meeting of the U.S. District Court of Minnesota.
That I am so proud of it, that I am U.S. citizen right now, and I work so hard, and I'm happy for that.
To obtain citizenship, those in attendance had to apply for a green card, pass a citizenship test, and take an oath to pledge their American allegiance.
But this is a very major achievement for me.
I got what I deserved to get it today, so I'm happy.
What culminated in the ballroom at Comstock Memorial Union was the finale to a year-long process to become an American citizen.
My mom is here, dad is here, they are USA citizens, and I just love it.
With photographer Katie Mulcrone, Aaron Simmons, Campus News.
The Office of U.S. Citizenship and Immigration in St. Paul presided at MSU Moorhead ceremony. The office performs about 100 naturalization ceremonies throughout the year. NDSU's 9th Annual Innovation Challenge is a competition for students to showcase their ideas in front of judges and community leaders.
Reporter Shay Dolly brings us to NDSU's Memorial Union to give us a closer look at these students' innovative ideas.
Hundreds of community members came to NDSU's Memorial Union to watch student innovators present their creative ideas. One presenter that caught the eyes of many was Srini Joshi for his research in diabetic treatment.
Diabetes is an epidemic problem, so every 6 seconds one person dies due to diabetes.
Joshi believes that stem cells are the key for a one-time treatment.
We are unlocking the potential of our own body's stem cells to treat the complications which are due to diabetes.
Joshi says his research could have life-saving effects.
So now we have a future of medicine. So use your own stem cells to treat diabetic complications.
Some students, like innovator Ruben Tiparach, are taking their interest into the virtual world.
The big game changer of virtual reality is that once you're in the game, you're no longer in this world. I mean, you're completely immersed in it. It's like being dunked into a tank of water with an aquarium in it, but without the water.
Tiparach's work mostly involves video games.
You can totally get lost within the world, within the story, within the characters.
But this technology does more than just entertain.
They actually use VR games to help cure post-traumatic stress in some cases, where they help soldiers relive their moments of battle. So it is a really powerful tool mentally in order to help you work through certain parts of your life.
Both Joshi and Tiparach hope to take their innovations beyond this challenge and implement them into the professional world. With photographer Anthony Fridgen, Shay Dolly, Campus News.
Cash prizes are awarded to winners in each track, and the first place prize is $5,000.
An international research team led by a University of Minnesota professor has discovered a new star. Scientists have nicknamed it Icarus, after the Greek mythological character whose wings melted when he flew too close to the sun. Normally, the blue supergiant would not be able to be seen by normal telescopes, but thanks to a cosmic phenomenon called gravitational lensing, Icarus was magnified enough to be seen. U of M physics and astronomy professor Patrick Kelly says the star is at least 100 times farther away than the farthest individual star that can be seen. As breweries continue popping up in the Fargo-Moorhead area, one MSUM professor decided to take the craft of making beer to the classroom. Sarah Erickson takes us inside the lab to see how students are mastering their craft.
When you walk into this biology class, most students have mixed opinions. Yeah, they're like, I didn't even know that was a thing on campus. And they're like, what department is that in? And who teaches it? And how can I get signed up is kind of a lot of how it goes.
With the help of Professor Brish, students are brewing up a unique set of skills.
Just by this idea of brewing or learning how to brew, that we hope that's tantalizing to get people to really learn a lot of science without thinking that they're doing science. I taught this course as a topics course a number of years ago, and in one of my evals, somebody said, I hate science, I hate science, I love this class. Halfway through the class, I realized I loved science.
Instead of chapter outlines, these students spend most of their time experimenting with different styles of brewing and beer.
I like getting down into the dirty with all of it. I'm a very hands-on person. So like just making all the different mashes, being able to try everything, being able to like taste it.
To respect MSUM's dry campus policy, the class does not brew the final product.
Everyone is like, oh, so you get to like drink beer in class all day, basically. I'm like, well, no, not exactly.
The brewing process requires attention to details like temperature, time, and constant stirring.
It's getting a little sweet.
Even though they don't taste the final brew, they can use these skills to become brewmasters at home. With photographer Branson Reeser, Sarah Erickson, Campus News.
Throughout the semester, students have learned to brew over 30 different styles of beer.
A Kansas State University researcher is trying to prevent the spread of a virus found in pigs before it reaches the United States. Assistant Professor of Diagnostic Medicine and Pathobiology Megan Niederwarder found that African swine fever can survive in simulated feed shipment across the Pacific. African swine fever virus has spread through Eastern Europe and Russia since 2007, but has not been found in the U.S. yet. Researchers say if the virus ever reached the U.S., it could cause almost $17 billion in economic losses to the swine industry. NDSU invited some fuzzy friends to their campus to help students stay focused and cope with stress. Reporter Yarvo Brown brings the story from these four-legged therapists.
This room of laughter and smiles is the result of some four-legged mammals, better known as man's best friend. 3 of these therapy dogs were brought to NDSU to help students get their minds right.
These who brought in the dogs were just great to converse with and take your mind off of school a little bit. And you know, I've got a quiz tomorrow that I haven't really thought as much about, and I feel perfectly calm going into it.
Some students were surprised to see the therapy dogs because they thought the session was just a presentation.
I didn't actually see them until the end, and they were like, oh yeah, you guys are the therapy dogs, and I was like, what?
It really is heartwarming to watch the patients and students relax and feel better when you come to visit them. Just seeing smiles is really rewarding.
The ladies of the group say even though the dogs are their personal pets, they are licensed and will create a safe environment for anyone that wants the stress-relieving experience.
It's important in this day and age where so many people are trying to pass their dogs and other animals off as therapy dogs, that to know that we have been evaluated and we are a safe team.
A team that just wants to improve health, one dog at a time. Yarvo Brown, Campus News.
Members of Therapy Pet Partners say that it is best to always ask before petting their dogs because every dog reacts differently when being touched. Students at Concordia College in Moorhead have put a sweet twist on exercising, and it's all for a good cause.
Reporter Ben Blanchard brings us to Concordia's Olson Forum for some tasty treats.
To many, going for a run is less than exciting, but some Concordia students added a good cause and a baked reward to sweeten the deal. Student organizers held a mile-long donut fun run to promote fitness and benefit a local nonprofit.
We partnered up with the service committee of CEC, and we decided to do this fun run. It's Women's History Month, like women's empowerment, and give $3 for every person who participates in the fun run and $3 for every donut eaten to the YWCA.
As you can see, spring has sprung in the FM area. The fun run was originally going to be held outside, however, the only option was to use this already crowded track.
So we decided to do it around the track, and do 8 laps, 1 mile, and have people kind of just stay in here instead of being outside and cold and all that like nasty stuff.
Concordia student Mason Griefey participated in the run.
I think the more things you can get involved in, the better. Obviously, without overextending yourself. As a college student, that might be hard sometimes without the time you have.
This year's fun run had an unprecedented turnout.
Most of our fun runs get like 20 to 30 people, and we had over 100 people sign up for this one, which is just insane. I've cried about 7 times today. Just like, it's been a really great event, and I honestly couldn't have asked for anything better.
Even if the run didn't burn all those donut calories off, Concordia students still managed to be active on the track and in the community. With photographers Anthony Fridgen and Jessica Colby, Ben Blanchard, Campus News.
The fun run proceeds will be used to buy supplies for YWCA members in need.
Chrissy Teigen and LL Cool J couldn't make it, but that didn't stop Minnesota State University Moorhead students from rocking out at the lip sync battle. MSUM students brought their best routines out in front of their mirrors to the stage in the underground at the event held by the Dragon Entertainment Group. Students didn't have to be a singing sensation to be a star. They just had to come alive on stage.
And everyone was encouraging.
Yeah, definitely.
So, just helps you get out of your shell. It was fun.
Yeah, like we were asked to go again, kind of.
The Dragon Entertainment Group has events planned through the end of the semester. One mic and many strong voices. In celebration of Women's History Month, Concordia's Feminism Club hosts an open mic night, and reporter Pony White was there to listen in.
Music?
No means nothing to him, but it means everything to me.
Poetry. Community. To celebrate Women's History Month, Concordia's Feminism Club hosts a night full of expression. According to Women and Gender Studies intern Carissa Chenard, the event was
really humbling and just cool to see within the Fargo-Moorhead area, just talent and camaraderie among people in terms of gender and sexuality diversity.
While it's hosted by Concordia students, the event attracted all ages of women from the region, including 12-year-old poet Sophia Leaseth.
We were still together. However, while I was gone, something happened. She kissed another girl. When I found this out, I realized, yet again, that life goes on without you.
Like many of the other poets, this was Leaseth's first time performing her poetry for an audience.
I was super nervous. I was like trembling the whole time.
Another performer who was grateful for this experience is professional poet Emily Vuig.
Still fight for your right to choose what you think is best for you, because we are sisters in this world.
Events like this are important for women because every voice counts.
Vuig believes that art and poetry is a great way to communicate.
And every person has something inside them that should be shared with the world.
With photographers Yarville Brown and Shay Dolly, Pony White, Campus News.
The Open Mic Night is the final event Concordia's Feminist Club is putting on this semester.
While the artists might be confined behind bars, their artwork is getting an early release. Fresno State's Graduate Art Studios is putting projects created by men incarcerated at a California state prison on display as part of Art Hop. Several academic departments and Project Rebound got together to showcase the artwork. Criminology Department Chair Emma Hughes says it's beneficial for people in the community to see it and for the men who produced this work to have a wider audience. The exhibition includes a panel discussion by the Avneal State Prison Warden and California Department of Corrections officers. MSUM's Comstock Memorial Union is usually full of students, but when the CMU puts on special programs, even more students gather.
Reporter Ashley Rozacek followed the music to the Sun Garden Lounge to see what Music Thursdays is all about.
Singing echoes through MSUM's Comstock Memorial Union. For 2 hours, MSUM students got to showcase their musical talent in the Sun Garden Lounge. Music industry major Oscar was the star of this month's show.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but I mean, that's natural. But like once you get in like the first 2 songs, I kind of get comfortable. It's kind of nice. It's kind of like nice to show my peers what I've been doing.
Oscar did have a few friends jump in. MSUM CMU Thursdays is a monthly event that started in February and highlights student talent. It was created in an effort to bring more traffic through the CMU.
It's just cool to see like a fellow student show their talents off because they are all students. It's not like we get some like outside performer who performs like downtown or anything. Like these are all students that take classes here and have friends here. So it's nice to be able to see like their friends do what they like to do.
The event created a relaxed environment which allowed students to do homework, sing along, and even dance. With photographer Polina Glowacki, Ashler Zaczek, Campus News.
Another CMU Music Thursday will be happening in April featuring 3 different students. And now we turn it over to Tyler Ziegler for a look at this week's sports. Tyler, March Madness is over. Where is my money?
All right, you guys, just relax a little bit. I'll get you your money, don't worry. It may not seem like it on some days, but summer is on its way. That may give more of us some motivation to hit the gym. But the Wellness Center at MSUM is giving students an extra reason to burn calories while also taking a trip down memory lane. Here's our story from reporter Hannah Norton.
MSU Moorhead hosted its first ever Fit Fest that brought in students to compete, burn calories, have fun, and win with a unique throwback theme.
We decided to bring back all of the high school fitness testing that you did when you were younger and that you hated, but now you get to win $1,100 in prizes for it.
Hydro flasks, gift cards, Nike bags, an Apple Watch, and Beats headphones seem to be the trick to get students to participate.
You know, when you're younger, you're like required to do it, and now that we're giving you an incentive, I think it adds fuel to the fire.
Squats, push-ups, deadlifts were all part of the fun.
People either are really hyped about it or really not seem interested. So it's probably the people who took gym classes in high school as electives versus people who didn't, you know.
But not all events were old high school blasts from the past. And one of the events at Fit Fest is the sport known as fencing. Learn the techniques of swordsmanship and duels as you put on a helmet mask with the MSUM Fencing Club.
I didn't even know we were having fencing, and that's really cool, actually. I've never seen that live before.
Organizers made participating at Fit Fest simple and easy. Just walk in, join an activity, and hopefully walk away with a prize. With photographer Brandon Larson, Hannah Norton, Campus News Sports.
Fit Fest is expected to show up next school year, making it an annual tradition. A familiar face is back behind the bench for the University of Minnesota men's hockey team next season. Former St. Cloud State University head coach Bob Motzko will take over as the new coach for the Golden Gophers. Motzko served as an assistant coach at the U of M from 2001 to 2005. He replaced former coach Don Lucia, who recently retired after 19 seasons with the team. During his time in St. Cloud, Motzko won 2 regular season titles in the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. One MSUM athlete made the switch from the court to the field, and now she's transitioning with the weather. Reporter Alexis Kennedy takes us outside to a frigid cold MSUM soccer practice.
Nebraska native Marion Superior originally came to MSUM to play basketball. After realizing it wasn't for her, she switched to soccer.
I was dead set on playing basketball, and Coach Nelson gave me the opportunity to play basketball here, and I was like, I'm going to take it. So I did, and it was awesome. I wanted to come back up here because we have family up here, so that kind of drew me here. But when everybody asked me, like, how did I switch from basketball to soccer in the same school, I'm like, I don't know. It was God's plan.
Even though this is her first year playing soccer for MSUM, she's left quite the impression on her head coach.
She's incredibly athletic and she has just a tireless work ethic, so that combination is pretty deadly for me. She's a wonderful kid. She has a really great goofy side as well, and she just brings a lot of energy and competitive spirit to the team, so she's really great to work with.
From going from a cozy indoor sport to a chilly outdoor sport, she's battling the elements with her teammates.
Playing soccer here up north, obviously our season's cut shorter because of the snow and it's freezing.
So generally we look a little bit better in possession once we go outside because we're used to those tight spaces. But then we miss, the balls in the air, the heading aspect, the bigger picture type of stuff. So we need to transition to that a little bit outside.
I'm ready to start making this team a winning team, and I think we can do it. We definitely have all the girls that are ready to put in all the work.
While they are still waiting for some snow to melt, practice continues in hopes of warmer months ahead. With photographer Chrissy Ness, Alexis Kennedy, Campus News Sports.
Soccer has their only spring game against UND April 19th at 7 p.m. Well, it's been a mad month, but the March Madness basketball tournament has officially come to an end. And Villanova is your men's tournament champion. The Wildcats won their second title in 3 years, blowing out Michigan 79-62 in the finals. Sophomore Dante DiVincenzo led the team with 31 points off the bench, the most points scored by a bench player in NCAA Finals history. While Villanova dominated throughout the men's tournament, the women's tourney ended in a couple of nail-biters. Notre Dame won the tournament with not only one, but 2 buzzer beaters. In the Final Four, Notre Dame was tied in overtime with UConn when Enrique Agumbawale hit an 18-foot jumper with just 1 second left. Then in the finals against Mississippi State, tied at 58 with 3 seconds left, the junior Agumbawale gets the inbound and does it again, sinking one from beyond the arc to give the Fighting Irish their first national title since 2001. And guys, I'm a man of my word, so here's your money. I'm paid up, and you can leave me alone now.
Thanks, Tyler.
How do you play music when there are no notes?
Leah Backstrom takes us to the Plains Art Museum to show us how one composer is picturing music in a truly different way.
Modern composer Mark Applebaum's exhibit, Picturing Music, brings to life a unique notation you may have not seen before.
In the 1950s especially, American composers were kind of running out of ideas. They were like saying, you know, everything that can be composed has been composed. What do we do next?
An avant-garde style of music was born when composers drew images, allowing the performers to interpret what they meant. Members of the Fargo Moorhead Symphony performed their interpretation of Applebaum's 70-foot linear, hand-drawn glyphs.
If you just look at it, you would think it was an interesting artwork, but then you realize it was meant to be played.
This is a whole new way to picture music.
It's something you don't expect. You partially laugh, and then you realize, wait, there's something unique to this and something beautiful in the way it's all being done at the same time.
Leah Backstrom, Campus News.
The Picturing Music exhibit is on display at the Plains Art Museum through June. And that's it for this edition of Campus News.
We leave you with another look at the lip sync battle.
Thanks for joining us and have a great week.
That I may not be alive, but I sure as hell ain't dead inside. What's with the shawty? I ain't wishing you harm. You see, I try to hold your hand, but I'm missing it all.
Campus News is produced by the Television News Workshop in the School of Communication and Journalism at Minnesota State University Moorhead in cooperation with Prairie Public Television.